grafts and everything so that he could straighten his arm out. And so that's Dr. Chris Bray on the right and Dr. Eric Fernari on the left. All of these doctors, they went through residency together in Texas, and so they're such a tight group. 3 of them practiced together in New York, and then Dr. Bray is in Greenville, South Carolina. So you can see that they're checking the hips on this one before we start the surgery with the C-arm. Yep, and that's me. Hi, guys. And that's Paula. It was nice that we had so many people. All of the nurses could scrub, so when one got tired, because I mean, if you're working on one patient, you've been scrubbed in since 8 o'clock in the morning and it's 10 o'clock at night, you know, you gotta get a little bit of relief at times. So we kind of tag teamed it at times. And there's one of the little girls. I'm not sure if this is before or after. I'm thinking it's up in pre-op. The OR nurses, we didn't really get to go upstairs to pre-op because they do things a lot differently. So on the left, you've got Roxanne Baca. She's from Albuquerque, and she's one of the PACU nurses that went with us. And on the right is Bridget Kuski. She's one of the sales reps that does all of the sterile processing wraps and stuff. And so she went along with us as one of our ancillary people, non-clinical. Because we had them, and okay, so we had a little fun with this little boy. When we put his spica cast on, they made him look like a Ninja Turtle.
This is actually submitted by Project. It's Pete Allen. They had sent it to me last night, and so, but you know Pete, and that's with him holding a little child with the bear.
That's Edvard. He was also in the orthotics lab, and he was so cute and so full of smiles. And we gave him that bear, and we were talking to him, and we started playing toss with the bear, and he laughed so much. And I even took a video and posted it on my Facebook. He's such a sweet little boy. And there we are. That was our last day. That was Saturday. We had cleaned up everything. We had put everything away, and the only thing we didn't put away is the friendships that we'll have for life with these people. I now have like 27 new friends on Facebook, and it was a very life-changing and rewarding experience. So we went sightseeing a little bit on Saturday, and this is there's Central Park down in the city, and it's where they have all of these iguanas. And when I say iguanas, there's like hundreds of iguanas. And the pigeons actually land on them and clean them up from the food that they're too sloppy with. It's kind of crazy, but it was, and then they have the cathedral that's right across the street from this that's very beautiful. And when we went into the cathedral, you could still see all the major cracks up along the ceiling from the earthquake that they had there in April.
Hard for us to imagine, isn't it? Imagine waiting in line the entire day on Sunday to have your child screened, hoping that they'll be selected for the surgery. I can't imagine. We have a special honor today. I'd like to introduce Hank Drummond, who has a presentation.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much for being here, Brenda, and Jessica, thank you for being here representing the mayor's office as well. You know, it's a good time for us to stop and think about what we do every day and the impact that we have in people's lives that sometimes we kind of don't even think about. We're trying to get the next nurse out the door, we're trying to get the paperwork done, we're trying to make sure they're compliant, and please continue to do that, by the way. And so all the things, and it's good for us to take a step back and to pause and realize the lives that we impact, whether that be in Ecuador or that be here in the United States, because we do not deal with widgets, we deal with human life every day. And that is of utmost importance because someday it's going to be you and I in that bed. Yes. And so we need to make sure that the staff that we send represents who we are, and it makes us very proud about that. And having been a nurse myself for 33 years, That was just the other day, by the way. It's an idea to kind of take a step back, and I want you to think about really what a nurse is. So I have a few words to share. Nurses are caregivers. They are communicators, patient advocates. We are the decision makers. You are the hand holders, the voice of reason. We are the ones that wake you up at 4 a.m. in the morning to check your vitals. We are the around-the-clock best friend by your bedside. We are the calming voice. We are the familiar face of compassion. And Brenda certainly was that to the children she impacted. To many, we are the guardian angel. As a nurse, you play a very important role within the healthcare system. Oftentimes, you might be the first interaction a patient has when they enter the hospital or the clinic. You are the one that can calm them when they're afraid. Imagine this. You're in charge of the patient's care, and the patient now goes into crisis. As a nurse, you handle the unpredictable chaos with utmost agility, grace, and professionalism. Nurses possess strength and accuracy to navigate through the waters during all those medical emergencies to keep everybody on task, to keep the patient safe. But even those who provide the most compassionate care can even have bad days too. Some days may be physically exhausting, emotionally draining. But you let those days of difficulties be outweighed by the satisfaction of knowing that you have played a pivotal role in a healing process. Nursing is a cognitively demanding profession where the task of caretaking is a rewarding challenge. Nurses go through some of the most intimate time with patients. We are there for the birth, and we are there for the death. It is through all of those experiences that nurses touch humankind. Nursing is a passion for those filled with compassion. So 2 little words that you may not hear every day that we want to share with you are 2 important words, and that is thank you. Thank you for being to the front line and providing care in this mission trip. So Brenda, we thank you for everything that you have done to represent us. A little bit more information about Brenda. As she told you, she's been an operating room nurse for quite some time. She started with cross country in 2006, as we heard, at Cedars-Sinai. She's currently on her 19th assignment with us for more than 10 years with the company. Quite the traveler she has been. She's taken assignments throughout the United States, coast to coast. Debbie, her recruiter, says she's very professional, always reliable, and an absolute pleasure to work with. She's been described by hospital clients as an extremely hard worker and a great employee, and they always want her back. She receives exceptional review scores by her clients. Her clients even tell us she's an advocate for her patients. She's a great spokesperson for the patient and the family. She makes life-changing experiences for the people that she touches each and every day. She has a great heart. And then Paula, who cannot be here with us today, so you know a little bit about her as well. Her dedication speaks for itself. Her assignment was to begin today, and she didn't want to be late, so she's in orientation. Again, an operating room nurse does all types of surgery, including cardiovascular and pediatrics. And if you know anything about either of those are specialties. She has completed 57 assignments with us, 57. She has taken assignments throughout the United States coast to coast. She was selected to go to Russia with Yale's open heart surgical team when on assignment. That's just how good these nurses are. She too is a fierce advocate for her patients. She is the voice while they're asleep. Common theme sounds like, huh? And she's described as having a heart of gold. Her recruiter, Deanna, said she's not only an outstanding employee that is begged to stay wherever she goes, but she's the nurse you would want watching your family member if they were in the hospital. And so with that, we certainly are honored that you two represent us. So Again, thank you on behalf of Cross Country Healthcare. Thank you from the executive team and the leadership here that you represented us so well, and you have reached out to others. Today, we'd also like to honor Brenda and Paula both. Obviously, only one of them are here. But there's something that we are involved with here, and it's called the Daisy Award. And for those of you, maybe you know, maybe you don't, but the Daisy Award was started by a family member. Patrick was a young man in his early 30s that was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and he rapidly declined, and he died within a matter of weeks. And one of the things that the family wanted to do is somehow honor nurses that had that heart, like Brenda, like Paula, and a way to give them an award and to honor them on a national level. So Patrick's family really brainstormed what to do. So they came up with the title DAISY, Diseases Attacking Immune System, and add a Y to the end of it. So the DAISY Award, it was a way to say this nurse has skill, has compassion, and has a heart for nursing. And if you know anything about DAISY Award, Patrick's last wish that he had was he wanted to eat cinnamon rolls one last time before he died. His nurse went, bought the Cinnabons, brought them, and that was his last meal. So oftentimes nurses know when they see Cinnabons coming on the unit, somebody's getting the DAISY Award today. Well, that'd be a lot of Cinnabons, so we have a lot of food, a lot of bagels. But so today it is my honor and it is my privilege to bestow upon you the DAISY Award. So a little bit of history about this. That's all right. Now it's back on. So a little history about the sculpture. The sculpture is actually made by a tribe from Africa, and by them producing these sculptures for the DAISY Award, it really funds the community there. So we are very much into that as well. She also has a DAISY pin to wear, and every nurse